Okay. So in the last session, we had covered the basics of UDT, right? So in this session, we will cover the category UDT. Also, we'll cover like how we create scrollers. Okay. So of course, in normal templates like top bands, lower thirds, or full frames, we can use the UDT to use the paging functionality like we do in the page controllers using UDT and record move. But in scrollers, we generally use UDT. Okay, so UDT is the one of the most important topics. So in this session, we will see how we create a different type of UDT called category UDT. Okay, so let's try to create a new UDT. I'm creating a new UDT, so I'll select a standard. These are the pre-made templates. You can use them as well. I'm creating from scratch, so I've selected a standard and I'll give a name called new category UDT. Okay, now you can see right here, new category UDT. Now we have to create table. So in design section, this is data entry section and this is design. In design, I'll right click and click on add table. Now you can see there is a table. I'll give a name to the table. Uh, so in category UDT, basically there is one table for category and another table. There is another table in which we fill the news. Okay, so there will be two tables. First table will be for the category only, and the second one will be for the news, which will be inside that category. Means like you have seen in a category ticker, category scroller, you can see the category changes and the news changes. Like for few time, you can see the news playing for like sports category, for entertainment category, for politics category, like that. So I will create one table for category and another table for the news. Okay, so this will be the first. I will give a name called category category table. Okay, now this will be the column. So I'll give a column name for category. Okay. Now if I go to data entry, you can see there will be just one category part. Okay, one column, but it's not computed yet. I will right click and add table. And this will be for the news, which will be inside the category news table. Okay, so in news table in the column section, I'll give a name news or data, whatever you want to give the name. Okay, data. Now we have two tables. Okay, now if I go to data entry, now you can see there are two tabs right here. First one is for the category and the second tab is for the news. Okay, but this is not the table which I want. This is not the UDT which I want. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'll go to design and the news part will always be the child of the category table. Okay, the category will be the parent and the news part will be the child. So if I do it like this, I will just drag and drop it inside the category table. I'll select the news table and drag and drop it inside the category table. Now if I go to the data entry this time, then you will see a difference. There are no two different tabs. There is only one tab called category table, but in every row you can see there is a plus. If I click on plus, there is you can see the news table is inside that category. Now, when you click on the minus, you can see this is like this. So if I create one category called sports, another one, I'll create another one called politics. When I press enter, you can see the third one is ready. This time I will give business. Okay, so for now three is enough. Now you can see in every category you can see there is a plus icon. This plus icon came just because of this thing which I did. What I did, I just selected news table and placed it inside the category table and I created a parent child relationship. the category table is the parent and news table will be the child. So the first table will be the category, and inside that there will be a news table. Similarly, in the data entry tab, you can see the category tab, and inside every category you can see this news. Okay, so I can specify the news which will be in the sports only. I can fill the news which will be for the politics only, and I will fill the news which will be for the business only. Okay, so let's just do one thing. Let's just type some sample text right here. So this is a sample sports. This is a sample sports text one. Okay, I'll just copy it and we'll paste it inside this one and just rename it like this is sample sports text two. Okay, when I press enter, you can see the third one is ready. I will control go paste it again, and this will be text three. So all the three sample news are for sports only. So under the sports category, I have sports news. Similarly, in the politics, I will politics text one, politics text one, and copy it, paste it inside this one. This will be sample politics text two. Another one, this will be sample politics text three. So now you understand what I'm trying to create. You can see in the sports category, there are only sports news. I have categorized every news. Earlier, we had created a utility where every news was like this. In row one, the first news, row two, second news, third, fourth, fifth, without any category. But this is categorized. Okay. Under sports, there are only sports news. Under politics, there are only politics news. And similarly, under the business, I will. Someone's mic is on. Please turn it off. Okay. This is sample business. So you have to fill all the data in this way. Okay. This. I'm just filling the sample text. You can copy and paste it any news text from Google, Excel, from everywhere you want. Business text 2, and this will be business text 3. Now we have 3 news each for every for each category. 3 news for sports category, 3 news for politics, 3 news for business. You can add even more, or if you want to delete it, you can just select this number and press delete from the keyboard, and you have this option to delete it. If you press OK, it will be deleted. Okay. So this is how you create a category UDT. That's it. This is it. This is how you create a category UDT. Okay. You need to create two tables. One will be for the category table, and another one will be for the data, the news table. And you have to create the parent-child relationship like this. And in the data entry tab, you will see the UDT like this. So I have filled the data. Now, if you want to save it, you can just save it from here like this. Also, if you want to use this UDT in your design tab right now, then you can just go to design tab. It will be saved automatically. And from UDT, you can just import it right here. Browse. Uh, I'll type the name in the filters category. New category UDT. This is it. You can see the data as well. Okay. 7.5. I'll select it and OK. You can see the category in this first table. And in the next table, you can see every category text like this. Okay. You cannot see in the filtered way as we created in the UDT tab. You can see every news all together right here. But while creating a category scroller, we will see how we categorize it, how we use filters. Okay, so right now I'm just canceling it. I don't want to use this particular UDT right now because at first we will see how to create a simple scroller, not category scroller. This UDT will be used when I will create a category scroller. But we'll have to check how we create a simple scroller first. So after that, we will check this UDT. Okay. So for this simple scroller, let me see if I have any simple UDT or not. I think in the last session, I have already created a Simple UDT. Let me check. I need to close this UDT first to open another one. I'll close it. I closed it and I'll go to open and type. Let's see. Basic scroller. Okay. I already have a basic scroller UDT. Now you can see there is only one tab, and in the data entry you can see this. I have 5 sample news filled already filled right here with the visibility option. Also in the category UDT, you can give this visibility option. Okay, so you know how to give this option. In the design tab, you need to select this visibility option from here. Okay, so I have opened this one, basic scroller. I'll go to design, and from UDT, I'll open this basic UDT first. Basic scroller. Okay, so in scroller, after importing the UDT, you need to do one thing which is very important. So in ticker, every data just comes and goes out in just one row. Okay, in just one row, every data comes and goes out. So here, for that purpose, you can see row per page option there is. So you need to just select it one. That means row per page will be one. When you play the ticker, every news will come and go like in just one row. Okay, so row per page will be one. So I have selected row per page one. If you want to play the ticker in a loop, also we'll check it out later. You have this loop option. You can just enable it or disable it if you want to play the ticker in a loop. So right now I have just disabled it. I have the data right here. Row per page selected set to one, and okay. Now I have imported the UDT like this. Since the row per page is one, so you can see there is only one news right here at a time on one page. On another page, you can see on page 2 by 5, you can see the scroller is 2. On page 3 by 5, you can see scroller is 3 like this. Okay. So now earlier we saw in normal templates, we just select the data and just drag and drop it to wire the data in any template. Okay. Like I have a text. If I want to wire this data to this, so I will select this text right here and this data and just drag and drop it on the text like this. And you can see it is wired. But this is not a normal template. This is a scroller. In a scroller, we have different functionalities. Okay, so the process of linking this UDT data with our template in a scroller is different. Okay, so if some of you already know what is set param, so if you guys know already what is set param, then it's okay. Otherwise, I'm going to show you how to set the parameters. Okay, parameter means basically this is the linking process,
Yeah,
the
please
data in the UDT.
give the intro also about no set param. You not you haven't
Yes,
done it before. Yeah, thanks.
yes. So uh, doing a set param. Okay, I'll show you first on a default track first. After that, I'll show you on a ticker. Okay, so to do set param, on the first frame, what will happen when you queue and play it? Your timeline just go like this from 0 to it starts reading every keys like this from left to right. So 0 frame, we cannot apply any action on 0. So I'll apply an action at default at first frame. So at first frame, I'll right click, control, add, and type set param. Set param. Okay. But in set param, we have to connect our UDT or Excel, whatever data source you are using, to a particular text. Okay. So set param is not generally not used just for text. We can also use it for images, colors, and many
Rishabh,
more.
Rishabh, 1 minute. Actually, what is the functionality of this set param? What is the
Set
purpose or
param
why we are
set
using it?
set param is basically called set parameters. So what are the parameters? For every object, we have these parameters. For example, we have a text.
Yeah.
We have these parameters right here. So
Uh,
I am setting the parameters of this text, okay,
mm,
of this text with our UDT, with our external data source. So
okay.
that means it is just a linking process, a different type of linking.
Okay.
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 It's similar to the where functionality we had previously. Uh,
Uh,
is it correct?
yes,
Previously, you used to
we
have.
can wire the data just by drag and dropping it. But
Mhm.
in case of a scroller, we cannot use that. That's
No,
why
no.
I'm.
Previously, there used to be wearing functionality, which we used to use
Yeah,
in
yeah,
Python
yeah, yeah.
and
Yes,
all
yes,
those.
yes, yes,
But
yes,
this has little more
yes,
control, I
yes,
think. But
yes.
every keys and all you can control, right? This has more
Okay.
Huh.
control than
More
the
control
wire,
than a
simple
traditional
wiring.
Hmm.
wear.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
Okay,
of
okay.
course. So in normal templates like par by or normal lower third stop, and of course you can use the same function like drag and drop varying. Okay. But in case of scrollers, we have to use the set parameters. Okay. Because in scrollers, we have a functionality like to create multiple scroller groups and their record move and all many more things. So for scrolls, I'll show you what is the functionality later, but I'll just show you the normal steps, how to do a normal text, a set parameter of a normal text. Okay. So I have a text, you need to have an object first. If you don't have any target, then to what you will wire your UDT. Okay. So now we have an object called text 3D. Okay. So now on the first frame on the default, add, I'll type set param. Okay, set param. Now, when I clicked on set param, you can see this target option. Target means it is asking to which object you want to set the parameters. So I'll go to target. In the primitives, I have every object which is in our hierarchy pool. So I'll select this text which I added in my view on my scene, text 3D1. So I am setting the parameters of this text. Okay. So this text is basically text 3D, 3D text. Okay. Not 2D text. If you are using 2D text, then you'll have to select text 2D. Okay. But this is text 3D. So you'll have to select text 3D. By
Okay.
default, it is already selected.
Object type.
Yes, yes, object type. And now in object param, this is param. Okay. So you are setting the parameter of this text to what, to which parameter? There are many parameters in this text. You can see in text parameter, there are many parameters you can see,
Uh,
but I am setting the parameters uh, like in the drag and dropping option, we just drag and drop it to this text.
mm,
So I'll set the parameters to this text option. Okay. So in object, I'll find, you can see every option right here, like the bonding with text, action and overflow, every option which you
so
can see
all the
right here.
parameters will be listed
Yes,
here
yes,
for
all
the
the parameters
text.
will be listed right here. So I'll need to select this particular
Text.
parameter text. So
Okay.
you can see I have found it. This is text. Uh,
Yeah.
So now it's time to select the data source from which data source this data will be linked. Okay. So of course, this is in the variable sheet, the UDT which I used. It is in the variable sheet, right? So
Uh,
it will be inside this variable option. Go to variable, select the target. In target, it is a data source. So I'll go to data source tab. You will find the UDT option in the data source tab and select the particular scroller table and select that particular news. Press OK
okay.
and press add. That's it. Set param is done.
Mm.
Close this. Now when I queue and play it, you can see when it will read the first key, it will set the parameter automatically. Yeah, you can see when I queue and played it. Now you can see the UDT data right here. Okay. Also, you can do the same thing using on action sets. Do the same thing, but in action set, there is a condition you need to queue and play it, and you need to play this button. Click on this button to play, and then it will link the data. So it can be used in various ways. So this is just a normal way to use it. Okay. For example, if a user want a button control to set the parameters that initially when you play it, it should not be reflected like this. When you will click the button, only then it will reflect the data. Then you can use this in that condition. Okay, this action set button.
Can you repeat this, please? Once more, please. This last one. The
So
connection is dropping a little bit.
you want to show me this option, the set parameter I did?
No, no, no. Set parameters
Okay,
is okay.
okay,
That
okay. The
the
action set option.
Action set, right?
actions. Actions.
Uh, you know what is action set?
Yes, I do have an idea. We
Okay.
used to like
So
move tickets up
action
and
set,
down.
of course,
This is
I'm going
action.
to cover it in the next session in detail, but I'll just
Okay.
give an
Mm.
overview that action set is a button. Okay, you create a button and in that button you give any particular action. That means when you give a option to play any particular sphere from 5th to 10th frame, then this button will work only when you will click on it. So
Oh,
it works only when you queue and play your timeline like this and play this button and it will work. Okay.
okay.
So you need to do 2 or 3 steps to make that happen. So there are some requirements where you need to use those actions or buttons. There are some conditions that user
For
wants
interactive
an option. Yes, yes.
screens
Only
and
when
all.
okay, this particular thing should happen only when I click on this button, unless
Mm.
it should not work like that. So in that case, we use action
So
set buttons.
interactive data presentation and it will be useful, right?
Yes, you can just create buttons, multiple buttons, and give the button option in the forms. Just click the
Mm.
button and it will play from here and there like that.
Mm.
So I'll show you in detail
Okay.
what is
Mm.
that in the next session. So right now this was the set param.
Mm. Okay.
So I will delete it and let's begin how we create a scroller. Okay. For a
So the
scroller, let
pyramid has
me.
been set. Now we are going to set the scroller, right?
No, it just was
Uh,
just a basic example on just a normal
okay.
text
Uh,
before starting the actual thing. Okay. Now I'm going to
okay.
start the scroller from the very start. Okay. I
Okay.
just gave an idea that what is set param. Now you know what is set param. Now we will do the next part. Okay.
Yes, it's very clear. Thanks. Yeah.
Hmm.
Mm.
Okay, so let's just create a simple scroller template like this. I'll create everything at the viewport center initially. When everything is done, I'll just change its position to bottom. Okay, let's just give any color like this. Just a simple scroller. Take a 3D text. So band and text both colors are both color are white. So I will change the text color to black like this. Now it's visible and place it a little bit down. Okay, so we also need a separator. It's subjective. If you want to use a separator, of course you can use it. Let's see. Let's use circle for the separators. Its size should be like this. Let's give a color, red color to a separator, and its position should be here before the text. And remember one thing, while using text in a scroller, make sure text's horizontal alignment should not be center. It should be left like this. Now just circle's position should be this much as gap is enough. I think it's enough. Okay. Now we have a band, we have a separator and a text. Okay. Now we need to use a scroller. So to play a scroller, we have a separate object in our primitives tab. Okay. We call this helper objects. In helper objects, you can see scroller group and scroller. So I'll take a scroller. So in normal templates, when we want to create any group, we just use simple groups like Control plus G, or this is the same group. You can use it manually from here. But in case of a scroller, whether it is a normal scroller, category scroller, or whatever type of a scroller, in case of a scroller, we have a separate group option called a scroller group. Okay. So we always use a scroller group when we are creating scrollers. Okay. While creating any group. So right now I'll take a scroller and also a scroller group. Okay, every data you are seeing in this scroller, like the separator text. Okay, so it will be inside this scroller group, not the normal group, inside the scroller group. Okay, so you need to add both the options at the same time, scroller and a scroller group. Okay, without it, it will not work. Now, uh, there should be a hierarchy while playing scroll, so watch it carefully. First of all, let's see, my scroller width is like from here to here. I want my scroller width from this part and to this part. Okay, so I'll select a scroller. We have a scroller width option. I can increase or decrease the width. Okay, if my scroller width is like this, then when it will play, the text will start appearing from here and finish it here. So it will look not good. If you want this, then it's okay. But I'm going to set it like this. Like this. Now it's okay. Now the hierarchy should be the scroller group will be the child of this scroller like this. Under the scroller group will always be under the scroller, main scroller. And inside this first comes the separator and then comes the text. So I'll select the separator, but before it rename it properly, otherwise you will get confused later. So I'll just rename it first. This will be my separator one. Separator one. And this will be text 3D one. Okay, it will work, or you can just rename it like text news one. Text news 1. All right, so now we have renamed it. So I'll select the separator and it will be the child of this scroller group like this. This hierarchy is must. Okay. Now I'll select this text and it will be inside this separator like this. You need to follow this hierarchy. First of all, the main scroller, without it, it will not work. And inside this, there will be scroller group. And inside this scroller group, there will be the separator. And inside the separator, there will be the news. Okay. What happens? We give an action to play this scroller. So when I give command to play this scroller, every in this hierarchy, in this set order, it will go from left to right like this. So I have created a hierarchy. This is just a band, so I'll rename it as band, correct? Band, base band, base band. Okay. Now I'm ready to play my scroller. The main thing which takes time is to link the data with the UDT. Okay, but if I want to play only this text as a scroller, of course I can do it right now. I want to queue and play it, and when I play it, the scroller should start. So at 1 or 2, or even on the 10th or 25 minutes, up to you, which where you want to give the command to play the scroller. So let's see on 10, I'll give control add and I'll type scroller. When I type a scroll, you can see there are option called start scroller, stop scroller, timer, text scroller. It is a different thing, and set scroller. It is also a different thing. Right now in this sticker option, we need to use these two options, start and stop. So right now I'm starting the scroller. I'll select a start scroller. In the target, I'll select which scroller. For example, if you are using multiple scroller in your scene, then you need to find it out. But right now in this scene, I am using only one scroller, so it is very clear. You can see it in primitive. There is only one scroller option. Just select it and OK. Now the target is selected and press add. Now I have applied on 10th frame start scroller command. So just close it now. Now if I queue and play it, you can see when it read the 10th key, now my scroller is working like this. Okay. So when you queue and play it, the scroller is started, but it will keep on going like this, like this, like this. So if you want to stop it, you can also stop the, you can give the pause infinite option to stop it, like on 20 or 30, wherever you want. After starting the scroller, give a pause infinite. So it will start the scroller and the timeline will be here and it is still working. It will, this pause infinite will not impact on this scroller. Okay. So it is working. Now
So
you
for
can
that, we
see,
don't need to set inherit parent off or something like that.
no, nothing.
Okay.
So when I played it, you can see there is only one text. So if you want to make it like, and like when you play it, it should not be empty. It should not look empty. So that's why for that purpose, we create multiple groups, the copy of the groups. What is the group? This is scroller group. There will be only one scroller, main scroller, and inside this there is a scroller group. So we can just create a multiple copies of this group. So like this, when I copy it and shift plus click on the object, we have this dialog box where we can you create multiple copies. Like one, we have already one. So I want to create like 2 or 3 more copies, or let's just okay, 3 more. Though it there will be 4 total. One is already right there, and I am creating 3 more. So we have now 4 scroller groups. So now if I queue and play it, after first, you can see the second one and third. So you can see we can see some and we can still not see other one. So when you link the data with your UDT, it will come properly. Every data at its position and every data will be visible. So don't worry about that. So now we have multiple groups. So now let's do the set param thing. Okay, now you also know what is record move. Record move basically moves the record of your data. That means if you have multiple data in your UDT or Excel, whatever you are using, So it will play the first one first. After that, it will move the record. That means it will play the second data. And after that, the third data, then fourth and fifth. So same thing will happen right here. So
So
using
we
the
have to set
set
record.
param,
We have to use record move here.
yeah, definitely. Both set param for
All
the
right.
data linking and record move for calling the next data. Okay,
Okay.
we'll use both the things right here.
Hmm.
So in a
Uh,
scroller,
Yeah, I would
eh,
request you to explain the record move a little bit
Yeah,
more.
that
Okay.
also would help, I think. I
That would
would
help
prefer.
actually because that's becomes
actually
little
in the last session, I think I've shared the video. In last session, I've already covered what is record move. In
Oh,
the last session, I've already covered record move. You can check out the recordings. It is covered already.
okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So now, in the scroller, you can see when you right click on this scroller. Remember, don't get confused. Scroller is a different thing and scroller groups are a different thing. So on a scroller, I repeat again, on a scroller, right click and events. When you go to events, you have an option called on scroll. That means you are saying on a scroller, we are giving any particular command, and that command will be the set param and record. Okay, so on a scroller, okay, we are using this option because it gives an flexibility, like where you want to apply those actions, like head in, head out, tail out. What is these options? What are these options? Head in. Head in means when the scroller's head comes in the scene, in the viewport. So when it comes in, so from the very start, the parameter should be set. Okay. If I use tail in means when the text comes out and when tails come in, the end part, the end text of appears on the screen, then the set param will be done. Then you can see it will be like cut and it will automatically get linked. So it will look very abrupt. So that's why we always do set param in head in. As soon as the first data enters, its set param will be done automatically. Okay. So now you can see all the four scroller groups right here, which I created. Scroller group 1, 2, 3, 4. All the scholar groups are right here. For every scholar group, we have to do the set param and record. But don't worry, there are some process with which we can get rid of it. That means I'll have to do the set param and record move for a scholar group 1 only. And we need to just drag and drop it inside the scholar group 1. The all the properties will be copied in every scholar groups. So we don't need to do separately for every one of them. So for that, we need to do one more thing right here.
Hmm.
In a scroller group, just expand every scroller groups. I'm showing this because uh, when I was here, so just for an example, I'm doing set param on first scholar group. When I select it, you need to select a target. Then you will have to go to the primitives, select every text for every scholar groups again and again. For a scholar group 1, you need to select text news 1. For a scholar group 2, in target, you need to separately do the same thing for a text news 2. Similarly for text news 3 and 4. So you will have to do every of them, the set param for every of them. So I don't want to do it. So in target, there is an also option called self and self dot tag. So this is the way we are going to do this. So what is self dot tag? Self means the self object, the same object. But what is tag? So let's see what is tag. Tag helps a lot. In every scroller group, you see a tag option right here, but this is empty. So I'll do one thing right here only. I'll select the name of the text of every scroller group. So I'll select the name, copy the entire text like this, and paste it in the tag option of that scroller group. Now the self scholar group is the self and its tag is filled. That means I'm saying its tag is the this text itself, which is inside this group. Okay, so I'll do the same thing for every scroll group. Control C, go to the tag of the second scroll group and press enter. Go to the third one.
What does this tag do basically? Like what
I'll
is
show
the
you. It
okay.
helps in the target. I'll show you.
Okay.
When I do the set param, I will show you. Just select it and do it. Scroll group 3, tag, enter.
The name needs to be exactly same as that of the text.
Yes, 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 exactly. Same. There should not be any difference, slight difference, the same. Okay. So I was doing the set param for a scholar group one. Okay. But now in a scholar group one, there is a tag option and I have set the name of the same text right here, exactly the same. Now when I do the set param thing in the events on scholar, scholar group one type set param. Now we don't need to select any every text individually for every scholar. I will just go to the self dot tag option. Self will be the scholar group and its tag, which I filled earlier, the text name. So I don't need to go to the primitives and select that text news one for the first group, text news two for the second group, and text news three. So I don't need to do this. So I'll just select self dot tag here. Okay. Now self dot tag. So what is this basically? This is the 3D text. Okay. I showed you what in the set param which I was doing earlier. Select the parameters text. Its data will come from the data source UDT. Scroll the table, this data. Okay, now press add. Now the set param is done. Okay, now for every scroll group, we have to do the set param as well as the record move. Okay, so I'll add record move right here. Okay, so I'll go to the action. When I apply set param, you can see the icons changed. That means it is saying one action is already applied. Okay, an action is applied right here. And on these three, you cannot see any action is applied. It is blank still. Now I'll type record move in target. It will ask you are doing record move for which data. So I'm saying for the data in the UDT, which is in the scroller table.
What is this local or global? Is there no Rishabh? What is it
Which
in the
go
target?
which,
Tar. This.
this.
Ah,
Oh,
yeah.
this is the local like wait. If you know what is variable sheet, you can
Mm,
see this local and global option. If
mm,
you give any option in the global, then
mm,
you can use that particular action in every templates. Okay,
mm,
local means you can use that particular thing in just this template which you are opened right here. Okay, global means global. If you add anything right here like the changing the color option, visibility option, and anything, you can use the same option in every templates. Just open another template and you will see that option right here as well, and you can use the same wiring on the other templates. So global means the same action
mm.
can be accessible in every templates, but local means it will be accessible only for this particular template which is opened right here.
If
Okay.
Okay.
you get time, I will request you that you give a demo of that local and global at a separate time, if
Okay.
possible,
Yeah.
if you do
Okay.
have time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
these are quite complex things and
Yes. Yeah.
requires a
Really.
little bit of understanding. A
Okay.
Yeah.
lot has
I'll show
changed
you.
actually over the previous versions.
Yes.
I'll
Yeah.
show you what is the difference between local and global. But
Okay.
for now, in UDT,
Yeah.
there is
Okay.
nothing related to
Ah,
global.
no,
Okay,
no,
just
no.
focus
Okay.
on local.
No,
Okay.
generally, just
Hmm.
to understand the concept. That's it.
Okay. Okay.
That'll. Mm,
So where I was
mm.
right here. I did the set param for first group, and
Okay.
it's time
Mm,
to do the record move.
mm,
So record move in target. I need to select the UDT,
mm,
and there are options called next, previous, page. Next means I want to show the next data, and next data. Okay.
mm,
Previous means if I use the record move, it will show the previous data. Previous means the previous data. Okay.
mm,
If I am on the second or third news, after that it will show the first news again. Okay.
mm,
Page means we can give any particular target. From first news, I want to jump to the fifth news directly. I can just give the particular page number right here. We can do that. But there are alternate ways to do the same thing. So we generally we don't need to use this option quite enough. So generally we want to play the next data next and next. So this I'll select this next option from this UDT table, and there are case success and failure. Okay. So right now in a scroller, so we are going to link our data in every scholar groups for so right now we have already four scholar groups. So each one will show other data. So in this, I'll give an option to failure. Failure means we don't have any data now, just stop the scroller. So I'm giving the condition when there is no data, just stop the scroller automatically. Okay, so it will stop automatically. Okay, I'll type stop, and there is an option called stop scroller. So you want to stop which scroller? So in primitives, scroller one, this is scroller. Okay, there is an option called abort. I'll show you later what is abort once it's done. Okay, now failure unstop scroller is added on failure command. Press exit switch case and add. Now you can see set param and record move both are applied on this scroller. Okay.
I have a question here, if I may.
Yes.
Like you are giving a stop scroller, but normally a scroller will not stop. It will loop around. For example, if
It's
you are
yes. So
uh,
what is it? What is it doing? It is a condition. If there is no data in the UDT, it will stop. But if if you check on the loop option, then it will not stop. It will keep on playing. So it does not work in the case of loop option.
so loop option will automatically override this failure.
Yes. It will override this failure.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Because normally a
Yes.
scroll
Yeah.
will not stop in a news channel. It will
Yeah. That's
it
why
will keep
we have
looping.
the loop option. That's why we have the
That
loop option.
that
Okay.
loop option we have to choose it in the set param, right?
No,
Or
I'll
on
show
the
you. I'll show
scroller.
you. When we
Mm.
import the UDT in the variable sheet right here, I
Mm.
showed. I think I showed you earlier that there
Mm.
was a loop option, check on and check off loop
Yeah,
option.
yeah. That has to set
Uh,
to be set in the
yes,
UDT itself. Okay, okay.
yes. Just check on the
Yeah,
loop and
yeah.
it will keep on playing in a
Okay.
loop.
Okay. So if it is
So
checked in the UDT, then it will not
yeah,
come to failure
Yeah.
because
yes,
it
it will
will
not come to failure.
it will go continue.
Yeah,
Yes.
it will keep on playing again and again. So
Got
this
it.
is just a condition. If in case if you're not playing in a loop and if the
Mm.
data exhaust in the UDT, then it will stop.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Mm.
Now you can see both the things are done for a scholar group one. But now we don't need to do everything again and again in all the groups. So now I'll just drag and drop it inside the first group like this. You can see the icons are highlighted in every one of them. That means the same properties are applied in every scholar groups. So the purpose of using the self.tag was now I'll show you. So now
Got
what
it.
happened? If I copied the properties, you can see the target.
Mm.
Earlier, we need to set the target for every one of them again and again,
Now
like
it
text
became
news
a variable.
1, 2, 3, and 4. But this time, if I have selected the self.tag, then it will always be the self.tag
Mm.
for every set param you can see. Because in tag option, what I have done is I have already set the text name right here in the every square groups.
Mhm.
That's why we used it. So
Okay.
let's see if I missed anything on the scroller. Okay, I have copied. Okay, done. So it is done now.
Mm.
So let's see in the UDT, if I want to play it in a loop, this is the loop option. If you turn it on,
Mm.
it will work in a loop. If you turn it on,
Okay.
it will give a failure command once the data exhausts and it will stop. Press OK. Let's try without looping first. The first data came, the separator. Also, there is one thing you can see the spacing between the
Spacing.
separators
Mm.
right
Yes,
here.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So
Spacing.
we can adjust it manually. Just go to the scroller. We have the gap option right here. This is 30 and just
Oh.
increase it to
Okay.
like 50. I think 50 is perfect. So let's see now. Now it's okay. If you can set it to 60, I think in this case.
It is basically the amount of gap we have given this
Yeah,
side. We should be just putting it
yeah,
that side.
yeah.
Mm. That is okay.
You can see every news coming, but I have not played this in a loop. So let's see what happens. So there are 5 pages, and that means there are 5 data. So this is the last data. Now you can see nothing is coming after that, and it will just stop when it goes out. So it's just blank now. There is no data. So scroller stopped automatically. But this time when I enable loop and OK, you can also increase or decrease the speed for testing. We can now just increase the speed so that we can check it faster. We have the velocity option right here. In velocity, in x means this axis. Okay, in x, when I give the minus value, minus means it will go from right to left like this, a normal regular scroller. But if I give a positive value, that means it will work like this from left to right, in opposite direction. Okay. So if I increase the value like -4, -5, or -6, it will be twice faster. Earlier it was -3, now it is -6. So it will be twice faster like this. Now you can see its speed is increased. Now you can see after the fifth news, the first news came again. So it will not stop. It will not get a failure command. So it will just keep on playing in a loop.
I do have a
Say
question, a
yes.
separate question. In the
Hmm.
UDT, it is in page mode, right?
Yes, yes.
There are other modes like cursor, slide. Can you little bit explain what those two are?
Uh, it basically depends what kind of template you are making. So normally in this case, like the tickers, lower thirds, and full frames, we generally use page mode. But there are some modes which are given on the purpose of like if you are using like touch graphics or any other type of graphics. So
Mimosa.
yeah, we use that type of functionality like the carousel slide, this
Hmm.
type of mode. In case of that, we in gesture mode, like you can see these gestures right here.
Yes, yes, I have worked with Mimosa. I have an idea.
Yeah. So there are other modes to display the next data. In what
Okay,
way you want to show the next data. So in other modes we use it generally. Like for touch graphics we use different carousel mode and the slide
okay,
mode and all that thing. But in normal regular graphics only page mode. Okay.
okay.
So this was the normal scroller. So now you guys tell me you are ready to know the category scroller today or in the next session. So it is too much for today.
Before that, I still have another question. Sorry. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Rishabh, I have a doubt here. So
Yes.
after this scroller, when it finishes with the text, no, when it completes without loop, the
Mhm.
band will be visible. No, how that will that will be
So
disappear, or how that we make it disappear after the
so
scroller finishes?
if you want to make it disappear, okay,
Uh,
so there is one condition. If you want to play it in a loop, okay,
mm,
so there will be no out animation.
yeah,
So
yeah.
on Sting client
We don't
or
need it.
VSET,
That's it.
whatever you are using, there is an
Mm,
option to close that directly. There is
mm,
a cut option in the Sting client in a player container. You can just click on that cut and it will disappear from the client, from
yeah,
the
yeah,
engine. Okay. In
yeah,
case of loop. But if
yes,
you're not playing in a loop,
yeah.
then you
That's
can
what
do
I'm
one thing.
asking. Mm.
Then you can do one thing. Then let's just do one thing. Let disable it first. Disable the loop.
Because we won't know when
Hmm.
it will be done. So that time
Good
we
question.
Hmm.
Good question.
Hmm. So now I have disabled the loop. Now I'm playing it and let's check one thing. So we can do one thing. We can just play the out animation of this band when the scroller goes out.
mm,
So it will go automatically. So we need to create that. Right now, what is happening? Let's see. Okay, so this is the last data.
mm,
Right now, nothing will happen. There is no
Now,
animation.
yeah,
Yeah.
you can see it goes out, and you can see this timeline at 30. It is just already still stuck right here. So
mm,
we can do one thing. There is an option in events
mm,
called on scroller complete.
Hmm.
mm,
Okay,
Okay.
on a scroller complete. That means I am saying if my scroller it's complete, then
mm,
what we can do?
Play
I will
default.
just play default. Yes.
Okay.
Play and default. Okay. And I'll not select any particular keyframe. If you're not setting any particular keyframe, that means wherever it is stuck, it will just play it from there. Okay. So I've
mm.
selected play default and add. Now what will happen when the scroller gets completed, it will release from 30 and it will just go.
So after that, we have to
Then
give the band
yes,
animation.
yes. If I do the band animation, the out animation for the band, then it will go out. And we can also add a play complete option
Yeah,
when the
play
animation
complete only
finishes.
we usually do it. No, that's what I
Yeah,
was.
yeah. So just you can
Play
just give a
complete
play
also
complete.
could be used, right?
Yes, yes,
Mm,
yes. See, it got released automatically when the scroll is done. So after 5 to 10 frames or wherever you want, you can just give an option called play complete.
ah,
PLAY play complete. You can see play complete option. Just add
mm,
it right here. So you cannot see the action of play complete right here in the designer, but on a Sting client
mm.
or wizard, you can just see it. It will
The
just
template
go.
will end.
Yes, yes. So this is how you can use it for the out of the template.
It was a
But
great
the
question.
play default is not required, no, when you use play complete.
Play default
Sorry.
is required.
No, play
No, it is
default is
required.
not required, huh?
So it will get this 50 command on the 50th frame play complete only
Ah,
when it will release. So that's
ah,
why I use play default.
oh,
It played it from
you
30
have to
and
use both.
it reached this particular number of frame and it received the command of play
No,
complete.
actually, what
So
is
that
play
will play.
default actually is the play. What
Default means
role
this
plays
track.
it? Yeah.
You can
Huh?
see this default
Okay.
track. So
Ah,
on default track, I initially
okay,
added
okay.
a
So it
pause.
moves from
So
there.
yes, I it
Hmm.
moves from there. It was
Then
initially
it
stuck.
completes over there.
Yes. Right now you can see it is stuck right
Okay.
here. But when I give a command on scroller complete, that
Ah,
play default means it will play the default from where it is stuck.
okay.
So it is
Got
stuck
it.
on 30, it will play
Yeah.
it from there and it will receive this 50th
Yeah. Yeah.
frame,
Got
the
it.
play complete command, and then it will play out.
Got it. Thank you. I have one more doubt. See, for
Mhm,
example, if the PCR people they want to pass it somewhere and then
mhm.
continue with that, is it possible to do that? The
Sorry, come
scroll.
again.
No,
I didn't
so
get.
if the PCR people, if
Mhm.
sometime if they want some on a scroller to stay for some time and then want to go manually in that. So we usually control no the play when the PCR people sometimes
Mm.
even if we have page control or something which goes automatically sometimes we hold that and manually we pass that one by one.
Uh,
You
s-
understand? For example, this is
mm,
scrolling, and the
mm,
third one I want to keep it for some time for if it is an important message or something, and then
mhm.
if it goes after that. So at that time we
So
manually
you
control it.
can you can add another pause if you want to stay to make this graphic stay for 2 3 more seconds
Hmm.
on the screen. So after when it release like this, so after any particular frame, you can just another add another pause, and it will be just a normal time pause. Just uncheck the infinite and give a 2 or 3 seconds pause and update it. So what will happen? Let's see. This is pause infinite. It will only release once the scroller
Yeah.
is complete. After
Uh,
that, it will get stuck right here as well again for two
hmm.
to three seconds, which I have set the time interval. So it released and it is stuck again. So it's
Yes.
for 3 seconds only. After that, it
Uh,
released like this.
no,
So
no.
you
What
can
I'm
control it
asking
that way.
when no, there are five texts are there, Rishabh. For example, the
Mm-hmm.
two is passing and the third one is there on the center of the screen, and if we want to keep that stay for some time, is it possible we do it that to make it stay for some time and then it passes after that when we release it? We usually control it with the player and the PCR, no?
Uh, in
Something
normal
like that,
templates,
I'm
we
saying.
can do it, but on a scroller, we cannot. Once it is started, we can just directly stop it. We cannot pause it. We cannot pause the
Yes.
scroller. We
We
can
can
just
pause.
stop it.
That
Either
is
Uh,
start
possible
it.
in a page controller.
Yes. Yeah, it is possible in page controllers and other normal
Page
Unity
controller,
record mode
page
templates.
by,
But
yeah,
in
no,
case, but
yeah.
in case of a scroller, when once it is started, it cannot be
Uh,
paused. It can just directly
that's
be
what I'm
stopped.
trying to
Yes,
understand.
yes.
In the
In case of
scroller, is it
yeah,
possible to do?
no, no, it's not possible in the
Okay.
scroll. But in normal templates, you can do it, like the
Yeah, in
lower
page
third stop
controller,
and
we
something.
manually, do
Yeah,
it
yeah.
on it
Yes, do
goes
it. You
back
do
to
it.
that.
You can
Yeah.
do it in page controller. Okay, but in
Okay.
tickers, in the scrollers, it cannot be paused. It
Okay.
can be stopped directly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also,
There
there
was
was one
another
more
question from
option.
my end.
Okay.
Uh,
Mhm.
for scroll tickers, we normally used to change the camera to orthogonal from perspective. Is
Yeah,
that still
you
required?
can do it if, for example, I have created this scroller on the center of the screen right now. But
Mm-hmm.
sometimes this happens in free camera mode when you change the position of the entire template. Like I'll just create a main group
Mm-hmm.
and I'll change the position like this. So sometimes this happens. You can see the text and the separators position sometimes gets little up and down because of the view. Actually, its
Mm-hmm.
position is okay, but due to the camera angle view,
Perspective.
it looks like that. So what can we do? What can we do is go to the free camera one option, and here's a view type option. It is now perspective. So due to the perspective view, it looks like this. So you can just change it to orthogonal, and it will look absolute flat straight like
Oh.
this. So you can just do it anytime and just save the
Mm-hmm.
template. So that particular template will be in this mode. Okay.
So
So
it is
it
still
will,
there.
if it will be template specific. If you
Okay.
have done this in this particular template, so it is
Yeah,
for this
normally in
template only.
scroll we used to do it. We used to make
Ah,
it.
yeah, 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 yeah. You can do it. Good question. That one. Yes, you can do it. Okay. So one more thing I was about to tell you, like in the scroller, when I added record move. Sorry,
Hmm.
events on scroller. There was in record move, there was an option, I think, record move, stop. Yes, in the stop scroller, there was an option called abort.
About.
Yes, so in abort, when you enable this abort option, okay, and update it. So what abort does is, you saw earlier when the last data goes out, it just keeps on going. When
Yeah.
it goes out totally, then after that it stops. But in
Oh.
about when the last data enters, then it will just go out from the screen automatically. Only the band will be here and the entire text will abruptly goes out. So let's see how this looks like. So I have done it in the about for the scholar one, group one. Okay, it's updated. Exit, update. Now now let's see if it is copied in the other ones as well or not.
We have to
Okay,
do
so
exit
it's
and then we
copied.
have to do update, na?
Yes,
First we have
exit
to do
and
exit,
update
then
and
update.
update.
Okay.
Yes. So I have already copied the property. So I made change in the first one, and every scroll group the same thing happened automatically. You can see in the record move, stop scroller, you can see abort is already applied in the fourth scroll group as well. I didn't do it, but since the properties are getting copied, so that's why it worked automatically for every groups. So now I have used the abort option, and let's see if I'm not playing in the loop mode. Okay, it is off. Good. Now let's play it. See, before at the very last in the very last data, as soon as the last data entered, it abruptly goes out like this in the abort option. So it's kind of risky. If you want to use it, it's okay. Otherwise, don't use it. So it just goes out abruptly like this. I'll show it again. See,
Oh, it
as
went
soon
to the
as the as
one
soon as the
goal.
last data I was about to enter, and it just
Mhm.
vanished directly. So it's kind of risky. So it might be not, it might not be good to use. So for now, I personally don't use. So
Hmm.
I'll just go to stops and uncheck it. You can just do use. You can just use play complete and all options. So
Hmm.
there is no need to use this option. Okay, done.
Okay.
So this was the basic
Hmm.
scroller.
Okay.
Okay. After that, now you know how we create category UDT.
Hmm.
Then category UDT will be used in creating category scroller. Okay. The normal scroll process will still be the same. Only we need to add a category right here, and we have to do the set param and record move for that category as well. That's
Okay.
it. So
Acha, I have a question. Like this UDT will be available in other templates also, right? The UDT that we just made, the Scholar News UDT.
this
Huh?
you can use the same UDT in other templates as well.
Exactly. That is
Yes.
what I'm telling. So, if, say for
Yes.
example, at the same time, two templates are running from two
But
different.
but but but
Huh.
but there is a condition. If you use same UDT in other templates as well, and if
Mhm.
you make changes in one UDT, then the it will reflect on the other one as well.
That is that change you are talking about, the data change, right?
Yes.
No, what I am asking is a bit different. It's a
Okay.
bit technical. Say there is one UDT which is being used in two templates, and both the
Hmm.
templates are live at the
Hmm.
same time.
Okay.
Okay. So
Hmm.
does the record move of one affect the other?
No. Record move does not affect. Only the data change
Okay.
affect. Record move
Okay.
doesn't affect
So
another
just
one.
because this template record move is happening, the
Yeah,
data will
yeah.
not change on the
Yes,
other template,
no.
right?
If you change the data inside the UDT, then it will reflect on the another
That is
one.
okay. That's a
Huh,
central
that is,
database.
yeah. Only
That is
that will
understandable.
affect. Only that will affect. Otherwise, you can
Record.
use record move and
Only
all. It will not impact on another
the
one.
template takes only the data from the UDT,
Yeah.
right? That
Yes.
is
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
The
okay.
record move action doesn't impact on another templates.
Another
Okay. It
template.
yes. It is so safe.
Mhm.
Okay.
Good. Okay. There was also an option for UDT instances at the very
Yeah.
first time someone
Yes.
else was holding a session.
When I'll show you the form option, then I'll
Okay.
show you that instance option.
Okay.
Okay. I'll show
Okay.
you the category UDT, and then I'll show you creating form and playing on string client using the instances.
Okay.
Okay.
Fine.
So I think that's it for today. We will discuss the remaining part in the next
Yeah.
class, and
Thank you,
session
Rishabh.
is about to end. After the entire session is finished, we can also have a doubt session in the separate class,
Okay.
and we can discuss the remaining thing.
We have a lot of doubts. No,
Okay.
thank you. Really, thank you.
Okay.
Thank
That
you.
was
Yeah,
really
very
helpful.
nice.
Okay.
Thank you,
Okay.
Rishabh. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. See you in the next session.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye bye.